Hey everybody, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here, and today marks a very important and a pretty big milestone for me. This is the first episode in Season 3 of the podcast slash vlog. So if you've been following along for a while, you know that I started this channel about a year and not quite a half ago now. A little over a year and 3-4 months. It was about August of 2019 that I started doing podcasts slash vlogs and just kind of working on videos for the channel. Back then I had about 80 subscribers, which were mostly family and friends. And it just was kind of a thing that I had started a few years ago and shot 2 or 3 videos for and just never really did anything with. But I got really interested in video editing, got interested in kind of recording my trips and sharing them with my friends and family and my kids. And got some advice from some friends. You know, my background is kind of marketing and client success, but got some tips from some friends that were like, man, just do it. Just start doing some podcasting, start doing some vlogs. Like, what's the worst that happens, right? And so I just kind of dove into it and took it as seriously as I possibly could. And I've really had a great time doing it. I've really enjoyed it. So for this first episode of Season 3, I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys. As you can see, it's pretty chilly out here. I'm actually camping right now, so I'm going to stand right by this fire because it's about 25 degrees right now. But I am in Hoosier National Forest, and I camped last night, and I'm going to be camping again tonight. The truck is all set up right over there. So for those of you that are watching on YouTube, you can see the setup there. That is my Tough Stuff awning, which that's going to be changing some. So the setup is going to be changing a little bit this year. So in this episode, though, before I dive into that and get ahead of myself, I did just want to kind of touch on, you know, what's to come for the channel this year. What can you expect? What's going to be changing? What's going to be new? And, you know, just kind of give you a heads up on what's coming. So before we get too deep into that, though, as always, you know, I just wanted to touch on my featured partners. Again, these guys are, it's not like I'm getting paid $1 million by these guys to do a ton of stuff for them. What it is I was fortunate enough to meet a number of these people through interviews, through the channel, through purchasing a product or, you know, hearing about something and then talking to them in a little more detail. And they're just great companies that I kind of want to shine the light on and get the word out for. So definitely if you're looking for anything that these guys offer, you should check them out. First of all, Overland Addict sells everything to do with overlanding. So if you're looking for any sort of gear related to overlanding, you should definitely click through that link down in the description and check them out. Also, Last US Bag. The Last US Bag company makes some amazing quality overlanding gear, particularly bags like Trasharoo style trash bags, tool rolls, just pretty much anything bag related for overlanding. And then, of course, More Expo. You can see my hat right there. More Expo coming up here February 2021. I'm going to be there. I'm planning to do a lot of coverage on that, so that'll be something I'm going to talk about here on this episode as things that are coming. But they are just, it's a great, amazing Midwest Overland Expo. So you should definitely check it out. Click through that link below to get your tickets before it's too late for this year. And then last but not least, Northology Adventures. Again, they make this amazing, high-quality overlanding digital magazine. It's totally free, so click through that link, go to their website, scroll to the middle of the page, and drop in your email, and they will start sending that to you every month. All right, so with that being said, let's talk about what is coming this year for All Things Overlanding. One of the things that I'm going to preface this by saying, I know this video is still kind of a talking head video, right? My goal is to up my game on content production. I mean, as you can see, though, I am out in the woods. I'm not just sitting behind a desk. My goal is to cut back on that as much as possible, to try and do as much live stuff out actually on a trip as I possibly can. So that is one of the changes that's going to be coming this year. Same with gear reviews, too. Still going to be doing tons of gear reviews, still going to be doing tons of do-it-yourself modifications and gear modifications and things like that. I'm going to try and do as many of those live and out in the woods as I possibly can versus, again, sitting at a desk in my house, right? And so that'll all be based on availability and what I can do. Of course, I work a full-time job, so the focus will, as always, remain on being budget-minded and like real, everyday, average Joes that go overlanding when they can, but maybe can't go all the time, right? So that's kind of always be my theme. I feel like there are a ton of channels out there already that are making the big, super high quality, fancy, you know, tons and tons of drone shots. And don't get me wrong, I love drone shots, and I'm going to be doing more drone shots. But just tons and tons of fancy, over the top overlanding channels. But I mean, let's be honest, right? Like for folks like you and I, it's just maybe not that reasonable to be able to go out all the time, every week, every weekend for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time. It's just not reasonable. So again, my focus is going to remain, as always, on making great content that can apply to you guys, to your everyday life. Showing you modifications that can save you $1 and give you the ability to make stuff the way you want. Gear that is value priced, but also still good quality, like my rooftop tent back there. So that is going to remain the big focus of this channel. I do not want to get away from that, and I've had a lot of you guys comment on that, and I appreciate the comments when you guys say things like, hey, I appreciate this about the channel. Hey, I like that about the channel, because then that helps me kind of craft my content to be fitted for you guys. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, this year will include a lot of coverage of like the more expo. I'm going to see if I can't get to like the Chicago Auto Show, check out just some different new rigs that are coming, maybe check out new Broncos, check out, I'm still going to be a Nissan guy, right? But I'm going to try and get you guys as much content as I possibly can. Cool, interesting stuff that is happening in the automotive industry, cool, interesting stuff that's happening with overlanding gear, interviews with, folks that are kind of leading the way with overlanding type stuff. So that is kind of going to be the focus for this year. All right. And as far as what else is coming, I have lots of big plans. Now, a lot of them are just kind of not set in stone yet, but I do have quite a few plans for trips. So I'll kind of let the cat out of the bag on a couple of them. One of them, I really want to do the Kentucky Adventure Trail, and I'd love to hit that up with Jeremiah of Overland Pioneers and maybe whoever else he wants to bring with him. But so I'm hoping to do that sometime in 2021. Also, definitely, if I can't do it during more, then I'm going to make another trip back out there. But I want to do the Ozarks really, really bad. And I'd love to hang out with, Grizzy Graham, a.k.a. Grant Wilbanks of Arkansas Off-Road, Chad Boyd of Overland Addicts, and then Matt McClellan of Ozark Overland Adventures. All those guys just look like they have a heck of a lot of fun. They all know the area out there really well, so I'd love to go see some of the sweet water crossings and just like beautiful campsites they've got out there. So one way or another, I'm going to get out there and do that this year. I don't have any plans to go out west yet. I'd like to. I'd really like to get out to like Moab area, hit up some of those places way out west. I am just not sure that I'm going to have time this year. It's all going to depend, right? Like what happens with the channel, how much does it grow? As I mentioned earlier in the intro, I started this about 1 year and 4 months ago with 80 subscribers, and I now have about almost 3,400, which just blows my mind. So thank you guys for that. But again, if the channel continues to grow, like there's nothing that says that I can't do this more and more. And that honestly would be my goal. Like if I could someday get to the point where I have, the ability to pay for myself to be able to go on more overlanding trips, I'm still going to keep it budget friendly. I'm still going to, try and get out there to the real expos and really give real human feedback on gear and stuff like that and talk about ways to save money, because I don't think, everybody thinks that, if you have a YouTube channel, right, like you're just rich and you're getting all this money. I've been doing this for almost 1.5 years, and I can tell you, and I'm not complaining by any means, I don't make, tons and tons of money, but I probably make about $100 a month off of YouTube. Probably make about the same from affiliates links. So like, again, it's free money and it pays for gas and it pays for overlanding stuff. So believe me when I say I'm not complaining, but it is not a like get rich quick scheme by any means. But again, at some point, maybe Nissan USA steps up and says, hey, Fletch, we know that you're a Nissan guy. You've been repping the brand. We'll pay for 1 year of your trip. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Are you listening, Nissan? Let's do that. But barring that, I will probably always have a full-time job. Just hopefully it'll be the one that I have now where it's flexible and my boss is awesome and he lets me do things like this. Like today's Tuesday. It is a weekday. We had a call earlier at 10 o'clock. We had our stand-up call and I used my WeBoost to be able to dial in for that call and talk to my boss. And he's like, you know what, just enjoy the rest of your day and we'll push our other meetings till tomorrow. So thank you, Mike, for that. But, having that flexibility, being able to maintain, that lifestyle while still having a job is very important to me. But I want to make sure that the content appeals to everybody, even people that work 9 to 5s and stuff too, right? Like everything that I'm going to talk about is stuff that you could take out on a 1-night trip or a 2-night trip for a weekend. So that will be the continued focus of the channel, is just to talk about real do-it-yourself mods. There'll be a lot of Xterra stuff coming this next year because I feel like there's still a lot of stuff that I need to do to the truck. And I'm kind of obsessed with modifying stuff. I'm still trying to continually optimize my gear. You can see my Tough Stuff awning back there. It's okay. Like, it's a really nice awning and it's been super high quality and I'm a big fan of it. But setting it up is a nightmare. So, little spoiler here, in February when I go to More Expo, I'm going to meet up with Chad Boyd from Overland Addict, and I worked out a deal with him to get an OVS 180 awning, which I am super excited about, because then I could just freaking open the thing and not have to look like an idiot wrestling with a tarp trying to get my stupid awning set up. So anyways, that is coming. That'll be one of the things this year that I'll be doing a review on, probably showing you the installation and just all the components and everything on that OVS 180 awning, because I think that thing is going to be amazing. So anyways, that's it, guys. Like, that's what's coming this year. It's a couple new trips, bunch of new modifications, continued optimization of my gear, more expo coverage, other, overlanding expo style coverage if I can get to them, and a continued dedication to upping my game from a quality standpoint. Like, there are a ton of people out there that are doing really great, amazing stuff, and their videos are just so cool, and I'm constantly learning. So for all those of you that have subscribed so far, I appreciate it, but believe me when I say that the quality of the content is going to continue to go up. Stuff's going to get more and more exciting. I hope to get you more and more B-roll and storytelling and, drone shots and that sort of stuff without going over the top, right? Like, the goal is not to make it fancy for the sake of being fancy, but rather to tell a more interesting story, right? Like, that's my goal. So I appreciate you guys being willing to listen to me talk, and I'm sure that I will always be talking. But I do want to, continually focus on storytelling elements, with the episodes, with the trip reports in particular, like having more drone shots, having more stuff that tells the story of what the trip was like, rather than just here's where I went, here's what I did kind of a thing. So, again, thank you guys all for subscribing. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for commenting on the videos. Thanks for hanging out on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for listening on the podcast. The podcast is nearing 100,000 listens, which is mind-boggling to me. So thank you guys for that. But look forward to what's to come. Like, this year is only going to get better, and I'm just going to keep working on it. I'm going to keep learning, and I'm going to keep improving. So again, thank you guys for listening. If you're on the podcast, thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, look forward to some more great content coming soon, and we'll see you guys next time.